My name is Jess. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. I just got my Adagio community teas for the month. So now I am really in Halloween and autumn spirit. So today we have Decaf Hazelnut Cinnamon Cream. And I'm going to use my little teapot. It smells so good. I love cinnamon in tea. Let's see, you can see what it looks like. I'm going to pop it in my little yellow teapot. I was getting ready to brew it in my big teapot, and then I thought it would be nice to let you guys see it. Okay, so I'm going to read the back of it. Steep 3 to 5 minutes, 212 Fahrenheit, 100 Celsius, for those of you who are not in the States. Decaf Ceylon tea, cinnamon, cocoa nibs, orange, natural hazelnut flavor, marigold flowers, natural cinnamon flavor, natural cream flavor, trace caffeine, but mostly decaf. So hopefully those natural flavors will not taste too synthetic for me. It has been a very up and down day. I don't know what's going on with me lately. Having a tough week or two. So, and that's rare for me to say. So it's just been an emotional week. I had a client this morning, then went to the dermatologist. Everything's fine. Just do an annual checkup. Skin cancer is pretty prevalent with my parents. They have things removed often, so they said it would probably make sense for me also to get regular checkups at the dermatologist. So I do once a year, and everything's fine. And then I came back and I did another session, and then after that session I laid down and I did a meditation, and after that meditation, I felt much better. So I was just having a rough morning, lots of spiraling thoughts, which I don't get very much anymore. So it feels very physical to me. I had a headache. I was having like almost heart racing kind of stuff. It felt like adrenaline a little bit. Now, I have needed for a medical issue some steroid cream, and I was using it this week, and I don't usually use anything like that, and I'm wondering if that steroid cream could have given me some of the physical sensations that then gave me some of the brain stuff. So our bodies and our minds are very connected. So I've been focusing a little bit more on the physical stuff because that's more within my control. I stopped taking that steroid cream to see if it made a difference, and it probably needs a little bit to get out of my system, but I bet that will help. So, plus it's Friday, which definitely helps. And so I am going to go to a play tonight. I am taking myself to the theater. I like to take myself to the theater because the theater is very expensive nowadays. So unless it's something that I think my son will like, and then sometimes we go as a family. My son likes like Shakespearean comedies, so we tend to go to those in the summer. There's a Shakespeare company that does a lot of comedies over the summer, and they're outside, and it's lovely. But this one is at one of my favorite theaters, and I'm going to go see 5 lesbians eating quiche. It should be very fun, but it's not one my husband would probably really enjoy, and I definitely wouldn't take my son to it. So I think it's a good one for me to go to by myself. So I poured this, and maybe this is blasphemous, but I've done it before. I just poured this into my grandma's crystal so that you could see the color, because I had a feeling this would have a beautiful color. It has this kind of sienna. I need to get that poster. If you've watched any of my tea videos from my other channel in the past, there was this poster that was online that had all the different colors of tea, kind of what you called them. I really need to buy that poster. So there's a little bit of synthetic flavor. I think I can taste it kind of from the hazelnut. It's like if you've ever gotten like extract on your finger and kind of licked it, and so like vanilla extract, or even I've had hazelnut extract in the house, or if you've ever had that and you've kind of tasted it, it tastes like the thing. It tastes like hazelnut or vanilla or whatever, but it also tastes kind of alcoholic and a little bit synthetic to me. There's a very slight flavor of that, but mostly it's more hazelnut than cinnamon. And the tea comes through, which is nice. This is actually a very nice tea. I think it would probably make a good latte, so I may make it into a latte. Except I don't have my oat milk that I really want. I thought my oat milk was going to come in my Misfit Foods today, but it didn't. And either they were out or I just forgot to order it. It's probably the latter. I do have some coconut and almond milk, but that's not my favorite in tea. I'll drink it. I don't mind it in coffee, but it's not my favorite in tea. But this definitely smells like Halloween and autumn, and it's actually very warm out today and humid. But I went out and did some Halloween shopping because I was in the mood. I would like to do some decorating this weekend. It's the first weekend of October. I think that's an acceptable time to start decorating for Halloween. I don't do a lot of decorating around my house. We actually don't even do a lot of Christmas decorations because we fly out of town to visit my husband's family. So we're not here for Christmas. We will usually put up a small tree and decorate a little bit, but I don't like to decorate a ton because then we just take it right down when we get back from our trip. So I also I like Halloween decorations, and I definitely do that. I've had up a how many days until Halloween little sign. I have this very nice thing. I think I bought it on Etsy, and it has 3 different blocks with numbers on them. And it's got a larger block that says days until, and then it's got a big block that you can rotate, and you get to pick what you want on your block. And so we got Halloween, so how many days until Halloween. We didn't do Christmas because we have an advent calendar, so we did birthday, and we use that for all of our birthdays, spring break, and summer break because it's mostly for my son. So we've had up how many days until Halloween when I had to use 3 different blocks. So it really was I got it as my Halloween tracker, but it was an extra bonus that it could be used for other holidays as well. I haven't updated it though. It still says 30 days till Halloween, so I need to change that. But I went to a couple of different kind of local pharmacies here. One did not have a lot for Halloween, but they had a pumpkin candle. So I got a pumpkin candle. I've been smelling my pumpkin candle. I lit that. And then I also went to another place and they had better Halloween decorations. So I got a little skeleton that's sitting in my hammock chair. I got a book with a skeleton head peeking out from the pages, and then our eyes light up. And then I got some black crepe that I can hang from my porch. I think my son's gonna decorate our porch This year he's a physical artist. He does a lot of like set design kind of stuff. So he's usually my go-to nowadays for putting up Halloween decorations because he will put much more time into it than I do, and he does a fantastic job. So last year he did a spider web all over our deck and made like big spider web, like it looked like there were big things hanging from the web that the spider had kind of tied up. So somebody around here has like a hobbit face that's peeking out, like with sting, and then they have, I think, a big spider on their roof. So ours aren't that big, but they're like the size of my forearm, so they're pretty big. And then we have some proportionate spiders that sit on it. The spiders are about 5 feet across, so they're pretty big. So today, since I'm kind of keeping you updated on like what I'm watching, no news from Villa V today. Well, a little bit of news. So they are on their way. They're probably in Brest, France, and their itinerary has changed a little bit because of Hurricane Zach. So I think tomorrow they're heading on to Spain, but they're moving some of their ports around so that they avoid the hurricane, which makes sense. And it's got to be one nice thing about being on a cruise like that. If you're on for years, like it circumnavigates in 3.5 years. It goes around the world. So if you miss a port, especially like if you've paid to be on for 15 years and you miss a port, you're going to get back to that port eventually. But today what I'm watching is, because my son just left to go to Taekwondo and to sleep over his grandparents, as he does most Friday nights. So I have the house to myself, and I'm going to go to this play. And I'm also watching, I love the podcast Wine for Normal People. I like kind of educating myself about wine. I don't drink a ton of wine, but I drink some, and I like to know about it. It's just kind of fun. And they did what did they call it? It was, let me pull it up here, a World Cup of Wine. So they gave like brackets, and you had to like advocate for one of 2 wines, and then they kind of moved it down to what's the best wine. And this is for reds. And it was last weekend, and I was at a music festival, so I wasn't able to do it live, but I thought about it again today, and they recorded it because I am a patron on Patreon with them. So I get to watch it now, which is exciting. So I'm going to watch some of that and, relax a little bit and then go to my play. And it should be a nice evening. And that's about all I am doing and have been doing. But this is a really nice tea. I did set back up, those of you may have seen in the past, I have a what they sell for teachers to have students put cell phones in. So they're little pockets, 1 through 30, and it hangs on the back of the closet door in my office. And I use it for my Adagio communities because I can just pop, they come in these little packets, and I can pop one in each day for the month. And if there's 31 days for the month, I just pop 2 in the 30. And then I use that for the month. And I actually have an advent calendar, an old advent calendar, not from Adagio, from a different tea company, from David's Tea. It was like an old version that they put out a couple years ago, and it was very, very inexpensive. And so I got that 2 years ago, and they come with little drawers with each day on it. And I just reuse that every year because I'm kind of cheap. And I get my Adagio community for $19. I already have the advent calendar. I popped those teas for the month of December in there. And then I have an advent that didn't cost me $70. You know, a lot of these tea advents cost $50, $60, $70. And if that's your thing, that's fun. I actually I just spent I think I spent $40 on a Bon Maman 12-day advent. Mostly because I know my mother-in-law loves Bon Maman. So I'm thinking of actually giving it to her on Christmas. I don't think she watches these, so she won't know. Or I may get carried away because we like Bon Maman too, and we like the little tiny jars. I think my son will get a kick out of little jars, and he doesn't drink tea, so that's not an advent for him. We actually have a Christmas tree advent where you pull out the drawers, and I usually put candy in that for him. It's a wooden one. I haven't seen them since, and I think it was very inexpensive. I think my grandmother got it for me many, many, many years ago. It was inexpensive. I use it every year and put candy in it for my son, and he likes that, but he might like the Bon Maman too. Or my husband might like the Bon Maman, so then he'd have an advent. So I'm thinking about advents. I know it's jumping the gun, but I'm really in the holiday season. So we got Halloween, then we got Thanksgiving, then we've got Christmas. And I've been watching Kara and Nate, who are travel vloggers. If you don't know them, they've been doing travel vlogs for 10 years, 10 plus years. They're marvelous. And they did a series on the Christmas markets around Europe a while ago. And I didn't watch it because it was the middle of summer. And I was like, I'm not watching videos on Christmas markets in the middle of the summer. But I will, I'm a little bit in the Christmas spirit now. I'm a little in the holiday spirit, especially Halloween. But I watched them over the past couple of days. There's only 3 of them. And it made me nostalgic for going back to Europe. I've only been once. And although they went to Salzburg, which we stayed in Salzburg for a week when we went to Europe, because we had a friend who had an apartment there, and they were going to be out of town. They said stay in our apartment. So we ended up paying them something because they could have probably rented their apartment out on Airbnb for a lot of money. It was in a really nice location. But watching it and seeing Salzburg again was really fun. They went to Salzburg for the Krampus run. And I think in my town here we have a Krampus run. I think it's within walking distance of my house. So I have to find out about the Krampus run this year and if they're doing it, because it won't be like the one in Salzburg, but it'll be fun anyway. So, and it'll make me think of Salzburg. So I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are getting in the Halloween or autumn or whatever spirit you enjoy, the pumpkin spice spirit of the month. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for watching, if you've watched this far especially, and I'll probably be back with you tomorrow. Okay, bye.